Hey honey, I'm home. Oh, Jesus wept. I have had just about enough. Hmm? No, it's nothing, babe. It's nothing. It's just work. I'm just tired at this point. It's been a long day. In a string of long days. It has just been agony after agony after agony this week, it's felt like. And You know what? Could I just emotion dump on you for a bit, please? Like, this has been going on long enough, and I just... I could really take a thigh pillow or something like that and just... I could really do with just a chance to vent. Okay, thank you. Oh, you want to go to the couch? Sure, okay. Any particular... Because I said I wanted a thigh pillow. I wasn't quite literal, but... Well, if you insist. That already feels better. Ah, oh, that's not fair. No. I said lap pillow, but I didn't say head scratches as well. Oh. You're spoiling me already, and we haven't even started the venting session. It's my birthday or something? And a kiss too. How much is it gonna cost me? I know, babe, I know. You're just trying to do a nice thing for me, and it's appreciated, it is. I just wasn't expecting it, that's all. So, where should I start with the emotion dump? I mean, I did kind of walk into that one, yeah. The very beginning would be a good place to end. I needed a good laugh. Okay. So... Well... You know that, like, our main competitor is, like, having work done on their drive-through? Yeah, well, obviously that means that because they're not taking people around drive-through and people don't want to go in to order any food, they come down to us instead. which is fine, you know, like, they want food, we've got food, and, you know, we're there to provide a service. That's all fine. This is what I signed up for. It's all in the contract that I signed, you know, that's what I'm there for. I'm part of the customer service and hospitality sector, you know, so I know that there's going to be people wanting food, and that, I get it. But it's the people who just take the absolute piss about it. So, okay, so I've mentioned to you before that the headset on our drive-through is basically like, it's like trying to listen through headphones made out of potatoes, yeah? Well, the number of times that the customer has said something, I've not quite heard it correctly, so I've said what I thought I heard, they say, yes, that's the one, they get round to the window, and then I find out that they've not been paying attention to what I've said, and agree to the wrong item. Like, is it really that difficult to pay attention to what's being said? Like, how short does your attention span have to be to not catch if I've misheard you? Now, I understand that, you know, like, there might be issues with hearing both ways on that thing, but it just makes me, it just, do you know what, it pisses me off. You know, that place up the road, they get money spent on them, improving their services, improving their facilities. What about us? Do you know the last time they spent money on our restaurant? That was years ago, and do you know what they did? They ever so slightly changed the seating layout in the restaurant. That was it. That was the last money they ever spent all those years ago. Ripping up the seats and slightly rearranging them elsewhere. Doesn't even look any better. We didn't get any new equipment, we didn't get any better facilities. You know, it's ridiculous. I mean, we haven't had a working coffee machine in years, and it's getting frustrating. People ask for coffees, people ask for any hot drinks at all, and I have to say to them, I haven't got hot drinks, the machine's not working. Oh, is it ever working? Well, no, obviously not. If you come in regularly and you're always told the machine's not working, it's clearly never working. But what can I do about it? Like, you're having a go at me as if I have any control over the situation. If I had any control on what happens with that coffee machine, do you think I'd be working behind the counter? Fuck no, I wouldn't. I'd be at my holiday home in the Bahamas because I'd be the franchisee who simply owned the place and had nothing actively to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get why people think that it is acceptable to be abusive and downright rude to the people who are trying to do their best with the shitty equipment they've got. Even before I worked in this sector, I never gave a food handler any sort of grief. You know? Because I understood that things take time, you know, food takes time to prepare properly. If they haven't got a working machine that day, then it's not working. There's nothing they can do about it. They're not mechanics. If they were, they wouldn't be working there. But... I know. I'm trying not to get excited, but it's... it's like you've put Mentos into a cola bottle and you've screwed the cap on as quickly as you could before it fizzed over, you know? And it's just been building and building and building, and I'm at my point of bursting. You know, I've had about enough of this. I hate that place. I hate working with the people there. And I hate serving the people who patronize the place. They go in and they have these, like, ridiculous standards that, you know, you've not gone into a Gordon Ramsay restaurant here, you know? You're in a fast food shithole. And even then, you know, like, technically speaking, we're not fast food. Like, our company, well, I say our company, but the company the brand that this restaurant uses, you know, they call themselves a quick service restaurant. And why do they call themselves a quick service restaurant? Because they serve chicken products. You don't do fast food with chicken. You know what happens when you do fast food with chicken? You get salmonella. Because it's not cooked properly. So we serve the customers quickly, yes. But the food takes time if you want it to be cooked properly. And I mean, it's bad enough that we're short-staffed at the moment. Like, we've not got enough members of active staff to properly staff a shift. But then, when we're short-staffed on a shift, and then we get people ordering ridiculously large orders. Like, I have had orders that have been in excess of 50, 60, 70. I had orders that were over £100 worth of product. Meals for one, sharing meals, the whole kit and caboodle. And that takes time to pack. So we have to park them up and we have to say, we're going to be waiting a couple of minutes because, one, we need to get some more orders out, and two, we need to make sure we've cooked enough product. And then when we've had like 3 or 4 of those large orders in this quick succession, and those customers have already taken up about 10 minutes of our time trying to pack their orders properly, the customers behind then need to be parked up, and they're like, well, I've been waiting 10 minutes already. I understand you've been waiting 10 minutes. You're going to have to wait a little bit more because we haven't got the product. We've had big orders that we weren't expecting. What, you think we can just magic this stuff out of thin air? How do you think a restaurant works? I don't get why people think this way, you know? And not to mention the fact that we get instances where, like, okay, so a couple of days ago, okay, last Sunday, I ran out of change, yeah? Like, I had no pennies, I had some pound coins, I had, like, you know, a couple of 50s, 20s, 10s. I was running very low on my change. And I happened to forget to notify this one customer that I didn't have a penny change. So I gave him, you know, a couple of pounds and, you know, the spare bit of change that I could give. But I couldn't give the 1 penny, okay? But everything else was there. All the rest of the change was present and correct. I gave him that with the receipt, and then I take the next order, and after handing him his food, and I think it's all fine, it's all sorted. And then I turn round and I see the guy still there at the window. And he says to me, "You haven't given me the correct change. You haven't given me the penny." I said to him, "I'm very sorry, sir, but I haven't got any pennies at the moment." And do you know what he did? He shouted, screamed, and swore at me, demanding a full refund because I didn't have a penny change. A penny change! Like, huh? Everything else was perfectly fine. Like, you had all the rest of the change, but because of a penny, because of 1 measly, stupid penny, suddenly you want a full refund. And he refused to move until he got the refund. Like, why? Are you really that much of a Scrooge? That you... I know, I'm getting angry again. I'm sorry, but it... You know what I mean? It's... Why make such a huge song and dance over a fucking penny? Oh, and get this. This is fucking rich. So, you know that there's been this big thing in the news that because of everything that's going on, warehouses aren't managing to get in everything that they're supposed to get in, yeah? So we've got shortages of that, shortages of this, all that kind of thing, yeah? So we haven't got the right packaging for some of our things. So burgers aren't coming in their usual boxes. They're coming in paper wrapping, which is meant to be a temporary thing. That's fine, we've got a replacement. But when it comes down to our cups, yeah, this is just ridiculous. So for the past week or so, we haven't had regular sized cups. We've only had the large ones. So we've got to pour a regular sized drink in a large sized cup. Well, you can imagine how well that goes down with the customers, can't you? "Oh, you've only half filled my drink." No, I've given you a regular drink in a large cup because that's all I've got. I mean, I can pour the drink into your hands if that would make you happy. You know? Like, I'm making do with what I've got. And what I've got is basically fuck all. It's not rocket science, I didn't think, but it just... Do you know what? I feel like there should be a mandatory thing where, like, so back in the day it used to be that you did mandatory military service for however long it was, a couple of months I think it was, or something like that, or a year, I have no idea, but you used to go into the military and you served like a few months to a year in the army, in the navy, in the air force, whatever it was. That's what you did, yeah. And that was meant to give you some experiences, that was meant to give you some training, that was meant to do, like, basically it sort of got you ready for things just in case a war broke out that you need to be drafted in for. Well, I think there should be a mandatory version of that for working in customer-facing roles, where you spend a week to a month working a minimum paid job in one of these sectors and see what it's like working in shitty conditions with shitty co-workers for shitty customers. Then maybe people wouldn't sneer at people who work in the fast food industry or in shop industries or in hotel management or whatever it is, like they think they're better than them. Because do you know how much willpower it takes to not drag someone over the counter for being rude to you? The number of times I fantasized about giving the customer both barrels for being an entitled prick. Do you know? Yeah, I do feel better. Having got a lot of that off my chest, I feel actually a lot better than I thought I would. I mean, having the lap pillow and the head pats and hair ruffles have really helped. Thanks for that, by the way. Some things that have gone right this week. Well, I suppose I managed to get back-to-back shinies in my Pokemon Go the other day. I hatched a shiny Mime Jr., and then the first Pokemon I tapped after that was a shiny Trapinch. That never happens for me, getting back-to-back shinies like that. I was shocked, quite frankly. What else has been going on? Oh, I moved up a league in Duolingo, so there's that. Arigato. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I see what you've just done. You've just done the shit sandwich technique, haven't you? Something good before we get to the venting, then all the shit that I unload on you, and then focus on some positives that have happened. Oh my god, that was clever. I didn't even realize you were doing it. And that's why I love you so much. Come here, gorgeous. Come on, I'll cook dinner tonight. I feel better now, so I think since you've done something nice for me, I should do something nice for you. What do you fancy tonight, sweetheart? You got it. Dinner will be ready in half an hour. Hey, I love you.